When in 1997, when you read Awaken the Giant Within, what was your sight like then?
Um, I was beginning to have trouble reading just a little bit. I definitely had a lot of trouble at night. I was still driving at night. I should not have been driving at night, but I had enough sight to still read. I would stop reading completely, zero capability, when I was 40. And yeah, so about 13 more years, but it was getting increasingly more difficult over that time period. And driving, I should have stopped driving by the time I was 30. I drove, I'm not proud to say it. Thank God I didn't kill anybody. I drove until I was really 40, but should not have been doing it. And it was very limited driving by 40. But yeah,
Okay, and what's your sight like now?
I can't see a single thing in front of me. So I have no central vision whatsoever. I see nothing. So you could put a giant E on the board of, a visual field test, or I'm sorry, visual acuity test. You could put that 6 inches in front of my face. I wouldn't even know that there's something in front of my face. I have a little bit of peripheral vision. So zero central. Cannot read a single thing, cannot see a single letter, zero. I have about 10% peripheral vision on both sides. So if I turn, right, I can see that there's this screen in front of me. So occasionally you'll see me turn my head. I can see the contrast. I wouldn't know it's a screen, but I can see the contrast of something. So I'll turn back and mimic eye contact. So kind of talk and I'll look away. When I'm looking this way, I'm looking, somewhat normal, hopefully. But what I'm really doing is catching back up to make sure I'm not staring into a weird spot. I'm finding my space and I'll look ahead again. So I use my little bit of peripheral vision to navigate. I've become really skilled at. I'm an athlete. I have great body spatial awareness. So I'll use the teeny little bit of peripheral vision I have to orient in space. And that's all I got.
Why do you think people choose to work for the business developer versus becoming the business developer? And this has to be a question that you've asked yourself and watched and wrestled with,
Yeah.
where you've told people, look, the autonomy, the freedom, the ability to influence is on the developer side. Is it the fear of rejection? What is it? What do you see?
Yeah. It is that. And it's heartbreaking, brother, for everybody. And I am not a Democrat. I am not a Republican. Right? I am not a political person, but I am a capitalist. And I believe in safety nets and I believe in giving. But here's my answer. The nuns that taught me in first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, the non-nuns that taught me in public school in sixth, seventh, eighth grade, the incredible people taught me in high school, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, my professors at Columbia University, who are very committed to teaching me how terrible the United States is, how awful Christianity is, how terrible capitalism is. Those people, then my law professors in law school, again, fine people who never made money, who never built practices, and who looked at people who do negatively. Think of what that does to you, of decades of conditioning. So we have decades of conditioning that capitalism, making money, is bad and wrong. I grew up in families with no money. My grandfather was blind. My parents were divorced when I was a baby. Rich people were bad. People with money were bad. In our spiritual dynamics, it's more difficult to pass through the eye of a needle, a camel to pass through the eye of a needle, and a rich man get into heaven. I'm a Christian. I don't think it says what people think it says, but that's how people quote it. So you have all of this conditioning telling people that sales and marketing is a bad thing. And then you have all these salespeople and marketers that are defrauding people, that are lying to people, that are being pushy and annoying. So we have all of this massive, understandable conditioning to not develop business in traditional education, in family structure, for most of us, as well as our own experiences with marketing and salespeople, lying and manipulating. Who would ever want to be that? That's exactly how I felt at 27 years old. So I have complete empathy. Marketing and salespeople are bad. people with money are evil. It's terrible. And yet I want it to be one of them. So my answer is because people identify people who are financially abundant and free, people who are business developers, as negative characters in our culture and society. It is often true. It doesn't need to be true. And the truth is that the greatest way to live, I believe, is in creating integriously massive financial abundance, inspiring others to do the same, and reframing and recreating the greatest and only system on earth that truly works, which is capitalism with safety nets. And that is my answer. People don't want to be evil. And that is why they do not develop business and they live lives of quiet, painful desperation.
How does a blind, defective human being who's flunked out of geometry class, who's clearly financially, a billionaire, stay as motivated and excited as you do right now? You've been on the stage with Tony Robbins. You've been around the who's who. You are extraordinary human being. Suck at marriage, obviously. But how do you stay motivated? What gets you out of bed and on a podcast to tell your story and uplift other people every day? What is it?
It is very simple. My why, and my why is I'm a person of faith. And my why is that I will not, when I face my maker, I will not have buried nor squandered, but rather will have exponentially multiplied my talents. I hold the truth that can lessen suffering for people. And if I keep that truth inside, listen, my back, I hurt my back over the weekend. Weird. I don't know how. My back, I'm in excruciating pain as I'm sitting here in the chair right now. And there's no way I was missing this moment, an opportunity to serve you, serve your audience. It's an honor and a privilege. I thank you again. And because my job in this world to the day I die, I will never not be doing this, is to unblind people so they can make more money in less time with more magic. I just got back from Disneyland. I went out and spoke at the $100 million mastermind of Dan Fleischman's. I spoke on a webinar that there were between 10 and 15,000 people live on the webinar I was speaking on about our Acti company and the influencer world. And I surfed that morning when I spoke. A shark swam by me. It was a 5 foot long shark that I saw in my peripheral and confirmed by our surf person who was with us. Right. Um, and then when I was done I met with David Maisel, the founder of Marvel Studios, met with Kevin Mayer in his $25 million home in Beverly Hills in California, where he bought Lucasfilms from George Lucas, Star Wars. He bought Pixar from Steve Jobs and bought Marvel from David Maisel, we met with earlier that day. When I was done, went to Disneyland, my 4-year-old daughter. And we went and stayed in the Mickey Mouse suite where Walt Disney was, where I was endlessly inspired. Couldn't see virtually anything on the walls, but I was able to ask a lot of questions about what was on those walls. With Oswald the Rabbit, that took everything from him before he created Mickey Mouse, have a private guide, do everything magical at Disney. I live life. I live life. Each day I live as if it's my last, with gratitude and preparedness for tomorrow to serve my higher power and bring as much truth and value integrity to people on this planet. And in fun energy, including my ex-wives, who I say the greatest thing you could ever do in life is to become my ex-wife. They live beautiful and glorious why, right? They do in every conceivable way, right? And we have great relationships and fun. I love people. I love giving. But mostly I love serving my higher power. And I am simply a vessel that's been given these opportunities and possibilities. And if I kept them inside, to me, that would be demonic. That would be selfish. And yes, I go surfing in the morning, right? I surfed 75 days last year. Um, and I go skiing. I went to Aspen skiing with my children, my 26-year-old and 24-year-old. My 22 and 4-year-old were unable to make that trip for all good reasons, all good. But I live life I enjoy. Um, but I am not here to squander. I'm not here to watch Netflix. I'm not here to watch the news. I'm not here to talk about tragedies and division. I honor people who that's their calling. It is not mine. I am here to live, be an example of possibility, and unblind people to truth of how they can do the same for others because I'm here to serve God.